Welcome to the Kingdom Culture Podcast that was created on purpose with a purpose to empower, uplift, and guide others to the center of God's perfect will. Kingdom Culture family, welcome back to the Kingdom Culture Podcast. I hope you guys are all having an amazing week. So I had a moment where I needed to release some emotions. I don't know what was going on, but I needed to cry. And I waited until my son was asleep to do that. And so it brought me to this idea that I needed to share with you guys because I don't think it's talked about enough, right? And it's showing up parenting when you're heartbroken or something is wrong, right? Because your child doesn't know your heart is breaking. Your child doesn't know there's something wrong, right? They still want you to play. They still want snacks. They still want you to laugh at their jokes. They still need bedtime stories, hugs, and our full attention as parents, right? And in the background, we are just trying to figure out how to survive one more day. And today, I want to talk to every single mom whose healing was still showing up because I see you, but more importantly, God sees you, okay? And I guess I didn't realize this, but when my whole life changed, I didn't get the luxury of falling apart for weeks. I still had my little boy depending on me, okay? There were mornings where I cried before he woke up, then wiped my face, made breakfast, and smiled like everything was okay. There was nights where I waited to until he fell asleep before I could release all my emotions. Not because I was pretending or trying to hide, but because he deserves a childhood that isn't carrying the weight of adult problems, right? Every kid deserves a childhood that isn't overwhelmed by the weight of our adult problems. And many people might not agree, but I think that that's the healthiest thing you can do for your child, right? Because when you show up, even though your world is falling apart, you are choosing love over your pain every single time, right? It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be, a walk in the park, but you're choosing love over your pain every single day, right? Now, while all of that was happening, I kept questioning myself, am I doing enough? Is he going to be okay with all of this transition? Will he remember this hard season or the way that I loved him through it? And I think that these are questions that not a lot of people ask or allow moms or parents to ask themselves. Because at the end of the day, if we ask ourselves these questions and we let them consume us, we're going to feel like we're not being parents at all or good parents, right? But I realized this, right? And it was crazy because I'm like, but my son doesn't need somebody perfect. My son needs somebody that's present, right? He didn't need me to have all the answers. He had no idea what was going on until later when I was able to talk to him and explain everything. He just needed me to keep showing up. And the beautiful thing about being a parent now for me is the fact that I can tell my son hey, let's go do something. And it could just be us outside playing with bubbles or whatever. And he's the happiest kid in the world, right? And so being his mom became one of the biggest reasons I kept going. On the days I wanted to quit, I looked at him. On the days I felt exhausted, I looked at him. On the days where I wondered if life would ever feel light again, I looked at him. He reminded me that even in my brokenness, I still had purpose. And that's the beautiful thing about having a mini person around. Because your purpose should be them. Shouldn't be your full identity, but you find purpose in serving them. And I think that's a human trait that we have is serving people. And so as a parent, a single parent at that, I feel like we are always motivated to do better, to do more, but it's overwhelming sometimes because we're not at 100, right? And so if you're a single mom or you're co-parenting or you're trying to heal, here's some things that I want you to remember, okay? Number one is give yourself grace. You're carrying more than most people will ever understand. You're making decisions, managing emotions, providing stability, healing, parenting, all at the same time, okay? So stop expecting yourself to do it all perfectly. Grace isn't lowering your standard. It's recognizing you're human, right? Number two, you have to be emotionally honest with wisdom, okay? Your kids don't need to carry your burdens, but they do benefit from seeing healthy emotions. And this is something that I learned as well, because, I said, like, no, he can't see me break down. He can't see me, like, crying all the time, because that's going to, like, set that standard for him. But it's okay for them to know that, mom has bad days. It's okay for them to see you pray, take deep breaths, to see you choose your peace instead of reacting, because that's how you're teaching resilience. And that's what I learned. It's like, I'm teaching my son to be emotionally aware, and allow him to feel all of his feelings in a healthy way. Number 3 is you protect the atmosphere of your home. Okay, and this one is a big one. Your home doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be peaceful, okay? The words spoken inside your house matter. The music you play, the conversations you allow. You get to create your home. So make sure you create it in a way that it feels safe. A place where your child knows they're loved, seen, and secure. Peace is one of the greatest gifts you can give your children. And with AB, I always do this thing where every day we wake up and we say, 4 of our strengths. Every day when we go to sleep, we say 3 things that we're grateful for, and then pray, and then go to bed. And so I've been teaching him to be able to speak on those things over himself, but also over other people. And I've taught him to know that he can come to me with anything and everything, right? So, like, we actually speak and talk to each other and have conversations. So protect the atmosphere of your home. It's the best thing you can do for your kids. And number 4 is let your child be a reason to grow, not a reason you disappear, right? As moms, it's easy to pour everything into our children and forget ourselves, right? But your child doesn't just need you to survive. They need to watch you become, right? So go after your goals. Take care of your health. Spend time with God. Laugh again. Dream again. Your healing gives them permission to believe healing is possible for them too. Like I said, like, for me, at first, it was everything for my family, my ex-husband, everything, right? And so I lost myself in that process. So during my healing journey, I said, hey, how can I become and grow through this and not forget who I am? Because your kids are always watching what you're doing. And so if they see that any, setback in life could be a moment of growth, that's what their, like, mindset's going to go to, if that makes sense, right? And if you're listening and you're exhausted, I want you to know something. The little things you think don't matter truly do, right? Like packing the lunches, the bedtime hugs, the I'm proud of you, the kisses on scraped knees, the movie nights on the couch, the prayers before bed. Those moments are building memories your child will carry long after this hard season is over. One day they'll look back and remember, not that you had it all together, but that you never stopped loving them. And that's the kind of love that changes generations. It's the kind of love that, I wish I had growing up, and I didn't, but that's okay. It allows them to feel. It allows them to love people around them. It allows them to carry love with them. They become love when you start to speak to them in this way, and allowing yourself to just be with them. Not perfectly, but you just allow yourself to be present. So, as always, I want to leave you guys with a Bible verse. This week's Bible verse is in Isaiah 40:31, and it says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Parents, if all you have today is enough strength for one more step, take it. God isn't asking you to have enough strength for next year or next week. He's giving you what you need for today. And tomorrow, He'll meet you there again. I hope that this brought value to you guys. If it did, please share it, like, subscribe. And as always, I'm so grateful for you guys to, being tuned into the podcast, and it means a lot to me. And if you'd like to, to learn about a certain topic, I would love to get comments from you guys and let me know. But anyways, remember that I love you, but the Lord loves you more. Always, 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 always. And we'll see you guys next week.